Okay, so we know that the most important variable in determining how high your vertical jump is the velocity upon which your feet leave the ground the moment you jump. And there are two exercise components of speed that you can add to your workouts to help improve just that. The first one is underspeed training, which is pretty much the entire philosophy under which velocity-based training operates under. I'm going to share with you how to use velocity-based training for explosive vertical jumping in other videos, but for now I'm just going to share with you how you can use underspeed in your workouts. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out when the other videos come out. The second way you can manipulate speed in your workouts to improve the velocity upon which your feet leave the ground is by using overspeed. Almost all weightlifting uses underspeed as their main component for exercise movement. But when you're only using weights to do your workout, no matter how hard you try to come up fast, your body will always slow down at the top because it doesn't want to snap its joints. So it wants to protect its joints. So you can try to come up fast, but unless you're leaving the ground, you're going to slow down at the end. And when you have a lot of weight, jumping with a lot of weight could be a lot of compression force on your spine. So a way to combat that is by using bands or chains. When you use bands in your lifting, you're still moving slower, but the resistance as you come up increases. So it teaches your nervous system to accelerate at the end portion of the movement. The same principle applies with chains, because the further down I go, the less chain is on the bar, so the lighter it gets. And the more I go up, the more chain is added back onto the bar, so I have to produce more force at the top. That teaches my body to accelerate at the end of the motion, which will help increase the velocity at the end point, which is where the feet are about to leave the ground, and determines how high your vertical jump actually is. And you can pretty much apply underspeed to any one of the workouts or any one of the exercises that you want to do. You can add it to trap bars, you can add it to deadlifts, and like I said before, there's many different training principles within velocity-based training or underspeed training, and we'll dive more on that later. But for now, just know that bands and chains will help you accelerate at the end of the motion. Now, a simple way to use overspeed is basically to use a band to help you in your jump. Track athletes use it for running, and there's many different other ways to use it, but specifically for your vertical jump, I like to use a band tied at the top. Now, I've seen this used primarily one way, which is with short ground contact times. And there are two different ways that you can use overspeed in order to improve your vertical jump. So the first one, using short ground contact times, typically looks like this. Okay? Now, I like to free my hands when I use it because it's a little bit more sport specific. So I like to wrap myself within it. And that frees my hands to use them for jumping, or I can picture like I'm blocking like in volleyball. The other way that you can use this overspeed exercise is by doing counter movement jumps for maximum height. Notice that while I was doing those, the ground contact time is slightly longer. These two exercises will improve your stretch shortening cycle, which is highly important to reverse the force and propel you up into the air. When you're using short ground contact times, 10 to 20 reps is okay because the time under tension is low. With the counter movement jumps, since there's a longer contact time, shorter reps between 4 and 6 are ideal. Because variety is a key component to adaptations in your workouts, feel free to move these variables around and see what works best for you and then change it. For example, you could do underspeed workouts first and finish your day with accelerated jumps or overspeed workouts to ramp up your nervous system and your speed at the end of the workout and teach your muscles to contract faster under slight fatigue. You can also train fresh and doing your best and fastest movements or overspeed workouts in the beginning of your workout and then do your underspeed workouts later on. A third idea is to incorporate any one of these between the actual workout you're doing. So be creative, keep learning, and keep training to develop your explosive vertical jump.